which Greek god you are based on your personality. If you think you'd be Apollo because you're creative, or Athena because you get good grades, I need you to step back from the mythology book and look in the mirror. The ancient Greek pantheon wasn't a group of noble heroes. It was a deeply dysfunctional family reunion full of extreme personalities, petty rivalries, and severe anger management issues. So let's look at what your daily behavioral habits actually say about which Olympian god is living in your brain. Starting with Zeus. If you're a Zeus, you have a terminal case of main character syndrome. You physically cannot handle not being in charge of the group project, and your toxic trait is making massive, sweeping decisions without consulting anyone, and then saying, it's fine, when everything catches on fire. Psychologically, you score sky high in extroversion and dominance, but zero in impulse control. You're the friend who orders food for the whole table without asking if anyone has allergies. Then we have Hera. If you're a Hera, you hold grudges so hard they should be legally classified as a hobby. You remember a backhanded compliment someone gave you in 2017. You have a mental dossier on everyone who has ever wronged your inner circle, and you express love through extreme, terrifying protectiveness. In psychological terms, you have hyperselective loyalty. You don't want new friends, you want complete, uncompromising allegiance from the three people you actually tolerate. Next is Athena. If you're an Athena, you don't play board games for fun. You play to systematically dismantle your friend's self esteem. You're the person who sends a 3-page Google Doc detailing the itinerary for a casual weekend trip. You get irrationally angry when people don't use the zipper merge on the highway. And your love language is giving unprompted constructive criticism. Your prefrontal cortex is operating at 100% capacity at all times, which means you're brilliant, organized, and absolutely exhausting at parties. Then there's Aries. If you're an Aries, you live life in constant state of mild agitation. You pick arguments in internet comment sections purely for the adrenaline rush. You drive like you're escaping a exploding building, and you treat a casual game of Mario Kart like a blood sport. Psychologically, you score off the charts in sensation seeking and low conflict avoidance. You don't actually want to fix the problem, you just want to yell about it for 20 minutes. On the flip side, we have Poseidon. If you're a Poseidon, you are completely fine until someone slightly disrespects your boundaries, at which point you unleash emotional warfare. You go from 0 to Category 5 hurricane in 3 seconds flat. You're moody, fiercely territorial over your personal space, and if a minor inconvenience happens in the morning, your entire day is officially ruined. You don't process emotions, you ride them like a tidal wave. Next up is Aphrodite. If you're an Aphrodite, you have a high aesthetic sensitivity. You spend 20 minutes picking an Instagram filter, and you treat your life like a romantic comedy where you're constantly looking out a rainy window. You get bored the second the situation becomes predictable. You thrive on high drama social dynamics, and your primary coping mechanism is retail therapy and romanticizing your own chaos. Then we have Apollo. If you're an Apollo, you have 5 different artistic hobbies that you abandon after 2 weeks because you weren't immediately a prodigy at them. You thrive on external validation. You cannot function without a daily dose of sunshine and iced coffee. And you suffer from toxic optimism right up until the exact moment you have an existential crisis at 2 a.m. Right next to him is Artemis. If you are an Artemis, you hate unexpected phone calls. You prefer animals over 99% of human beings. And your ideal weekend is disappearing into the woods where nobody can ask you for anything. In attachment theory, you exhibit extreme avoidant tendency. You're self sufficient, fiercely independent, and if a group chat gets too active, you mute it for 6 months. Next is Hermes. If you're a Hermes, you have 14 open tabs in your brain at all times. You reply to text in 2 seconds or 2 weeks with zero middle ground. And you know a bizarrely specific amount of gossip about people you don't even like. You're the master of chaotic networking. You don't have a 5-year plan, you just have high energy, quick wit, and an incredible ability to talk your way out of consequences. Then we have Dionysus. If you're a Dionysus, you're the designated chaotic element of your friend group. You treat every minor achievement like an excuse for a full festival. You have a terrible sleeping schedule, and your life philosophy is we'll figure it out when we get there. You possess high novelty seeking traits, meaning you're fun, unpredictable, and entirely irresponsible when left unsupervised. Next is Hades. If you're a Hades, you're not evil. You're just an introvert who is deeply tired of everyone else's noise. You prefer dark mode on every app, you love a good routine, and your favorite part of going to a party is the exact moment you get back into your car to go home. You score highest in conscientiousness and low extroversion. You just want to mind your own business, manage your domain, and be left alone. And finally, Hephaestus. If you're Hephaestus, you are the ultimate hyper focused overthinker. You'd rather spend 10 hours fixing a broken appliance yourself than pay someone to do it. You express affection through acts of service rather than words, and you hold a quiet, burning resentment for people who get ahead using charisma instead of hard work. You're grounded, hyper practical, and deeply cynical. So, whether you're planning world domination as Athena, screaming at traffic as Ares, or hiding in your room like Hades, your favorite myth isn't just a story, it's your psychological profile with a toga on. If you felt personally targeted by your god today, drop your Olympian in the comments, and if you're gonna write a paragraph explaining why you're actually a mix of four different gods, go ahead and hit subscribe.